Canada put up a fight, but the women's rugby team has lost to England at the World Cup in front of a record-breaking crowd.
Canada's got the better of them here, Brian.
Whistle, scrum to Canada, final whistle, Rugby World Cup to England.
Underdog Canada lost to heavyweight England, 13-33. The two teams faced off in front of a sold-out crowd of 82,000, making history for women's rugby. The highly anticipated showdown came after Canada defeated defending champion New Zealand in the semifinals. It's been 11 years since Canada was last in the women's rugby final. Canada was looking for its first title after falling to England in the 2014 championship. With me now is Hayley McGolderick, writer with Team Canada. Welcome, Hayley. A phenomenal run for Canada and a huge accomplishment getting to the final, but not the result they were looking for. What stood in the way of gold for the Canadian women today?
I don't want to say anything stood in the way because they've obviously worked incredibly hard. They defeated New Zealand, which was a huge accomplishment to defeat a program like that has such storied history. But this England team, you know, they've won 33 games in a row. That's massive. And they had the home field advantage as well. And so I think for Canada, they were just, pardon me. Oh my goodness. Apologies for that. They were just really looking for a chance to be able to play with this England squad who has so many, you know, such history as well, like a squad like New Zealand. And so I think for them, it was really just the fact that they made it this far. And I don't want to say they just made it this far because they are the defending Olympic silver medalists as well. Canada's really been up and coming in this rugby program, but just going up against an England squad, they knew that they were going to be the underdogs in that. And that's exactly what kind of happened.
What were the big standout moments in this match?
I think there were a few things. Number one, I mean, for England, they obviously got ahead at the half and they continued to rally in that. But for Canada, they were never out of it, and that's the biggest thing with this Canadian team, that they have consistently always played until the final whistle. That's what's won them some really hard matches. I remember watching Paris last year, and when they made it to the final, that was another underdog story, and they were down, and it looked like they weren't going to come back. But one thing about this Canadian rugby team, they're always going to play until the end of it. Even if it's not the result they want, they could have just sat back and said, we're down 21-8 at the half and bowed out of this, but they continued to play, and I think that's the biggest thing, is that this is really just only the beginning for Canada. Like you said, it's been such a long time coming that they've been in a World Cup rugby final, and now they're back here, and they've made everybody in the country proud.
Talk to us about the record-breaking sold-out crowd, close to 82,000 people. What does that say about the sport of women's rugby?
Yeah, I think that it's up and coming and growing, and you see that with so many sports. You saw that 2 years ago at the Women's FIFA World Cup, that there was record sellout crowds, and you're seeing now in our own backyard when we have professional women's leagues that there's constantly sellout crowds. It's just one of those things that's kind of, if you build it, they will come. And if you're putting women's rugby on television, if you're giving them access to this, I think even a lot of people saw what Canada did in Paris last summer and wanted to be along for the journey. Okay, we have a program that's winning medals at the Olympics. How can I watch them? How can I support them? And so, especially obviously in a country like England that has such history when it comes to rugby, they're going to have large crowds. But I think it helps that just the marketing around the women's sport, the fact that it's actually on TV for the first time, all of those kinds of things are ways that people can get into the game and actually want it and actually want to watch it. When there's no barriers to entry, it makes it a lot easier to be a supporter.
Yes, a crowd of mostly England fans, the Prime Minister watching, not to mention fans back home. I'm sure it was a lot of pressure. And we're really proud of the team for all that they have accomplished. Hayley, thank you very much. It was great chatting with you today.
Great to talk to you. Thank you so much.
That's Hayley McGolderick, writer with Team Canada.